Good morning and welcome to Homepage, a public affairs feature of 93.7 K Country and Wind FM 92.5 and 95.5. I'm Kathy Dugan, and my guest this morning is Jason Steuber, director of the Appleton Museum of Art. Well, we are so happy to be talking to you, Jason Steuber, director of the Appleton Museum of Art, one of my favorite places in the entire world, not just in Marion County or Ocala or Florida, the world. I love the Appleton, Jason.
Thank you so much, Kathy. We're so excited to get a chance to talk about what we're doing.
Absolutely. And it's so nice to see that the museum is open. It's open now, finally reopened this month. Now, what are some of the precautions you're going to be taking regarding COVID-19?
What we've done is worked with the College of Central Florida and just looking at what are the best practices, looking at health department rules, local county rules, and the state rules. So what we've done is, like you've seen out in public already, we have face masks for all of our employees. We have them ready for visitors as well, and visitors can also wear their own mask coming in. We put plexiglass as barriers, like you see at the store, between the security guards when you walk in, at the admission desk, as well as at our store, just to get some extra protection for not only our staff but also our visitors. And we've added additional, like you see everywhere, additional sanitizing gel stations, and just been retrained to think about, hey, if you're inside, you need to brush your fresh air, step outside and enjoy a beautiful courtyard, or go outside and see our art or sculpture outside. But just trying to get people to feel welcome in a way that's a little bit different, but at this point, most people have been out, and so we just those types of precautions have been set in place. So we're so excited. And opening last week, we had a good amount of visitors coming in, and so we're quite excited to get people back in the gallery.
That is so fantastic. Now, have your hours changed at all now that you've reopened?
Yes, so we went to a little bit more limited hours. So we're open Thursday through Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m., and also on Sunday from noon to 5.
Oh, that's perfect. So, that's perfect.
We wanted to hug the weekends and give people enough time to enjoy the music.
And the nice thing is, it's a great thing to go to the Appleton and bring the family. The Appleton's one of our hidden gems in Ocala. And for those who know nothing about the Appleton, now, what is the first thing that you would tell them?
I think just when I moved to Florida in 2008, I drove down to see the Appleton. When you come off of Silver Springs Boulevard and just see the building itself, it is awe-inspiring. It's such a great, beautiful building. And when you get inside, the artworks continue that journey. So I would say it's a world-class museum from the time you see it till you go through the galleries. Over 5,000 years of art we have in our collection. We have one of the largest art collections in Florida with over 18,500 works from all around the world. And so it's just world-class from turning off the street and seeing our building to coming through the galleries, and hopefully you have that experience going through the museum.
Absolutely. And the Appleton's actually been around quite a long time. 1987 is when it first came about. So tell us a little bit about the Appleton family and what made them decide to build an art museum.
I think Mr. Appleton was a very eager collector from early on in his lifetime. And so his family is from Chicago area, and their family owned an electronics company. And so he was always interested in how things work and how design work. And I think that inspired him not only as a scientist and engineer, but that he saw that in the arts as well. So I think when the family sold the Appleton Electronics Company, when they sold the company, they bought a place in Ocala in the mid-'70s, and they established Bridalwood Farm, which is still a thoroughbred racing facility that's still going on today. And so I think coming to Florida, having the means to acquire artworks as well as enjoying the artwork, he saw that as a way to gift a great facility to the residents of Marion County and the residents of Ocala.
Wow. I had no idea that the Appletons were horse people. I know exactly where Bridalwood Farm is. That place is wonderful. It's been around forever.
Good.
Man.
It's been around forever, yes. And so it's great to see that tradition. And that's one thing I love being in the art museum no matter what you do in life, you can find it in the arts, especially a collection as vast as ours. We share that with the public. Horse country is where we are. We have great artworks that span in great time periods in the art up to today, and also just the idea of finding that gem, like you said. It is a great gem to find in Ocala, and it's a great place for all the communities to come to us, and also we've been very excited about getting out in the community and remind people to come on over and visit.
I first discovered you guys when I was going to what was CFCC back then. It's College of Central Florida now. How did the college get involved and when?
Since 2004, governments or working relationship, becoming a part of the College of Central Florida, and as well as working with the College of Central Florida Foundation. So it's been, 16 years now, being part of the College of Central Florida. And that relationship is great because every time you get people in the door, you're teaching them, and also they're asking questions and making you learn as well. And that just aligns what we do from lifelong learners, K through 12, as well as College of Central Florida students and professors we work with closely. Like you said, just to recognize something, to get a spark of interest, and I think that aligns very well with our College of Central Florida friends and family as well.
That's incredible. Now, probably my favorite painting, and I know you guys still have it there, Elizabeth Jane Gardner's Daphnis and Chloe. It's a beautiful oil on canvas. It's big. Tell us about some of the permanent collections at the Appleton.
Like I said, 18,500 works. So it's really big, but when you come through the museum, you'll see we divided up not only by themes, but also regions, and then also by types of artwork. So I think one big picture, let's say, take the globe. We have works from Africa. We have works from Asia. We have works from Europe, Central and South America. And so we do have a global reach. And thinking about inside of that, we have oil paintings, we have photography, we have print, we have ancient Egyptian sculptures, we have Greek and Roman antiquities. And like you said, great European paintings that really capture what it means to not only the idea of beauty, but also everyday things that people had prized possessions of that really tell a story. And those stories would come alive throughout the museum.
It's incredible. Now, back in, oh my gosh, I'm giving away my age. Back in the early 90s, when I was at CF and Jack Thursby's art history class, one of our projects was to go to the Appleton, find a piece of artwork or a sculpture that we liked, and write about it. And the one that I chose, and I probably still pronounce it wrong, is from the African art collection that you have, the Akuaba, the wooden fertility dolls. And the background on them is so amazing. It really is, Jason.
You picked a good one. And just having the opportunity to see artwork firsthand, it sparked an interest. And like you said, not dating you, but it's been with you for a while.
It has.
A good while.
Yeah.
And that's something you can come back and see the friend again. That's something important. Like, I really like this piece, let's go see it. That sort of idea of getting the hook to come back to the museum, that's great. And that's part of, our mission is always to get the public interested. And those types of figures, like you mentioned, they talk about fertility and how the idea of pregnancy and getting pregnant and the idea of family and coming together is how do we extend ourselves, how do we give meaning to our life? And a lot of times we do that through our family. And these dolls, these wooden figurines can help you become pregnant. They also become part of your family heritage, like almost enshrined in your household, and it becomes an heirloom. So each time this figure becomes part of your family, as part of a family member. So it's not only art, it has meaning, but it also has function for you. So it has all those things, and now on display it helps you, like you said, you come and look at it and you say, oh, art's not that different. I can see something from late 19th century Africa, talking about friends and family and life and kids. That's something I can deal with. So art then becomes less scary, and it's something you can actually tell a story about. Take that meaning home to your own life and put it into practice.
It's true, because art is all about stories. It's just a visual story instead of a written word story. It's like music.
Right.
Music is a story set to a tune. And for this, you're looking at something and you get the story behind it. And the Akuabas are really cool, actually. So, I tried to stay kind of far away from them because when you're in college, you probably don't want to get pregnant. So I kind of backed off a little. I'm like, I'll sit back here. You guys just sit there.
No, I think the idea of putting it to music or that's what a museum does, or even next door with the Civic Theater. You know, you're composing an exhibit. So think about the artwork as musical notes, how a composer or even a playwright, you know, you can set, Shakespeare in 1930s New York City. And so you can see how the way you juxtapose the players or artifacts or artworks really does tell a story. And you are doing a composition of sorts. And I love the way you say it. It becomes almost lyrical when you go through. And
it does.
Yes, I really appreciate that. That's a great way. That's what brought that forward. I appreciate that.
Well, there's also collections that are there for just a few months. You have collections that come in and leave, like Bruce Moser's collection of photographs of mid-century tourism on the Silver River. Those are so awesome. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, Bruce Moser, he died, only about 5 years ago, 2015. And he is part of the rich history of what we would say, you can look online and see mid-century furniture, mid-century houses. And he captures what's happening in mid-century Florida. And just like today, we're about tourism, dollars in Florida help the local economy. And he's doing this through the arts. So Bruce Moser, working at Silver Springs as well as over at Paradise Park, captured how and why people enjoyed those beautiful crystal clear rivers. And he started, early on with the Hollywood films coming here, such as The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah.
Using those wonderful waters as set. And then he learned how to develop underwater photography, different types of cameras, is always experimenting. So he's sort of like Appleton in a way. He experimented in creating something mechanical that produced great artworks. And his capturing of people mowing the grass underwater, or barbecuing, or a young woman in her swimsuit on a big fish hook with a big bass swimming by. It's just wonderful, playful, but it also is iconic of how North Central Florida, predating Disney World, had over millions, like I think 1.2 to 1.5 million visitors a year to Ocala, Silver Springs area for that. So you can see that local tourism is not only nature and art-based, but, just like today, that's what we want. We want people to come see horse country. We want to see people supporting sports in our area. And every time there's a downtime, you want to go see and support the local state parks, national forests, art museums, local art communities all throughout North Central Florida. So, yes, I'm glad you see the value of the temporary show. That's supposed to read, how he helped establish what it means to be gem in North Central Florida.
And this is something really cool that not just, us grown-ups would like. Bring your kids and show them that. Say, remember when we went out on the Silver River? Well, here's a picture from back, teach them a little bit of history with art.
Yes, I think, we also in this, we included lots of postcards and magazines from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, but also we installed a large vinyl image of Mozart himself shooting a photograph underwater with his large camera, and you can take your own selfie. The kids want to have some sort of memory, so they can make their own photo of a photo and post that as well, just to show that, his work and continues to inspire. And that's, I think, like you said, getting kids in, see a little local history, and then, you can go actually to the place and see that. Then you start thinking about, well, how can I document my life? How can I see what's here of value? How can I get people to, what kind of story can I tell? Like, go back to your idea of stories. What kind of story can I tell to get people to know where I'm from? Because I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be with my family here.
Exactly.
The surroundings.
It's so amazing. And it's nice that there are interactive parts of the museum. I know that there are some that aren't open right now, but that's an interactive part that the kids can enjoy. And when they post their pictures, make sure you hashtag Appleton Museum, of course.
Yes, always social media. It does help us, and that's something we're very proud of, reaching out, especially during this time when some people are unable to get out.
Now, you've got some great stuff coming up in January. Tell us about some of the stuff that you've got.
In January, we'll be opening, in early January, the private collection of African-American art. It's called Memories and Inspiration. There'll be over 60 pieces of artworks that the Davis family collected, over the past almost nearly 4 decades now.
Wow.
And thinking about how, it's a great story how a retired mailman with his wife who worked in the television news, and then how they collected art on their budget at the time, and especially African-American art, something from drawings to paintings, print, sculpture, everything across the board for African-American art, and how they built that collection, and now they're able to share that with the public. And so this is a traveling show, and it shows that how and why people collect, but also how and why you can collect what's interesting to you. But then in the end, what you collect can be shared with others to talk about it in a bigger area of just general human experiences, how and why people come together, what stories are being told through the art. And like you said, there is a narrative there. There is a symphony that's orchestrated by collecting, and that's going to unfold for all the visitors come January. It is a great show, and I'm quite happy that we're able to provide that come the new year.
I can't wait. That's exciting. We're also excited about some fun events going on right now, including the My Pumpkin and Me photo contest. Now, the deadline to submit is today. You can still get in on it, so tell us how.
When I came on board last year as director, Mr. Appleton's birthday is in October, and so is mine. So I wanted to celebrate fall and do something new, and especially, like you said, online. The My Pumpkin and Me is just a way to have families and friends get together. You can either carve your pumpkin or paint your pumpkin and then upload a photograph and send it to Appleton Museum at cf.edu. We'll have 2 winners. You get a family membership and a gift basket from the store. And so everything's due today on the 25th, but the winners will be announced on the 28th. So it's a fun way to share your own artistic skills, and plus with the pumpkins, it's just a lot of fun. It feels like fall. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even if it's warm out, it should still feel like fall on the inside. And a lot of, the kids may not be able to trick or treat this year. So we're trying to find different things that they can do that are fun to celebrate. And this is perfect. And it's something for the family. Right.
And I think, like you said, always comes back to either a nuclear family or your friends and family, or just hanging out with people to see something and learn something, especially at times when it's difficult to get out and about. And this is just fun and sharing. And, some of the artworks are great. The pumpkins and other are just really fun.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Now, the Artist Outlook with Clayton Pond. Tell us a little bit about that.
We started a new series where it's, people, our curator, Patricia Tomlinson, will be working with living artists and highlighting their works that are on display in our museum. So she does a Zoom talk where we get she asks questions of the artist. He or she tells us about their life and work and their process. So with Clayton Pond, his artworks are so fun and big, colorful graphics. And his exhibit at the Appleton looks at pastimes, such as what did people do from the late 60s to mid-70s for fun. So we got dirt bikes, we have drag racing, we have paragliding, we have people on snowmobiles going deep-sea fishing, or even little guys driving around on golf carts. So it's quite a great snapshot of how an artist saw life at that time and how people lived and had fun. Plus, the graphics are so really retro cool right now with great pinks, blues, yellows. It's really, really cool things. And he's a genuinely well received artist, and his artworks really are great. So hopefully everybody can tune into that. And that's available, on November 19th at 7 p.m. You can go through our website, and that's where you'll have the Zoom information. It's free to log in from Zoom, and you're able to ask a question as well. You can type in your question or ask your question during that time as well.
Oh, that's so much fun. Now, a lot of people have been asking, with everything that's changing, will a Dickens Christmas be back this year?
Well, museums always plan ahead. So we did talk to the private donors that helped fund that. Well, we had to put pause on it this year just because of the pandemic and just the amount of work it goes into and space it takes. Once it went on display, it would be very hard to control any sort of distancing.
Right.
So we're going to put it on pause this year, but we're coming back to it next year. So it was a really hard decision but we had to make that in consultation with the donors, and they understood that, public safety and staff safety comes first. But, we'll be definitely anxious to get it up for next year. So
Absolutely.
I know that's family favorites for the area, but this year it's not in the cards this year.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I probably say this every week to somebody, but everybody's been pivoting. You've got to go, okay, this isn't going to work. I'm going to do this. Okay, if this doesn't work, I'll do this. But it's just been such a word.
Yeah, I think that idea, and even that idea of, the ability to be nimble, to be reactive, but also proactive. And I think moving out into the community, even though we were closed for mid-March to mid-October, those 7 months, we really did a lot of outreach online. But we also took our time and worked safely, and we were able to go out in the community to deliver, our great story over the summer was over 3,000 kids were given complete art kits with, painting supplies, drawing supplies, paper, scissors, glue to create artwork. So I think, pivot is good, but pivot also means, you got to move. Pivot to me means you're stable and static. But we will, I think our team really engaged once you got over the idea of, okay, we're producing online, but we really want to be out there. We miss people. So getting out in the community was our proactive way of not only pivoting, but also going out and meeting people, safely at a distance, face to face. We handed out art kits to all the kids. We drove across all 3 counties, the College of Central Florida, North Central Florida, just to get to them and give them the opportunity to have artwork, ability to create things, and then having that there as one of the inserts, we reminded them that you have the opportunity to go online and have even more opportunity to see the artworks, but art making videos that we put online for free. So, like you said, it's important to pivot, but also to move forward and get out in public. So.
And that was wonderful that you guys did. I love that. Now, the Appleton relies on many sources for funding, including our community right here. So how can we help?
I think there's every way you can help. Just like you said, mentioning going on our Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and liking us or visiting or, participating in our online activities. It could be, you could do all of our jigsaw puzzles. Mm-hmm. You could do our crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
Or you could download our free app to your phone and then take a tour of the museum. So maybe if you're unable to come, you can have a view of what all the exhibits on display. Also, featured if you're homeschooling right now with school, with your school kids, you can do that as well, because our app is not only for adults, we also have it set up for children as well. So two different roads with the same outcome of engagement with the exhibits and artworks, but it's free, and that really keeps you, like you said, supporting us means that you're taking advantage of the great things we've been able to develop and provide to the public. And so one way that's free for you to support us is for everyone in North Central Florida is to work with us and take advantage of the things we have online, but also coming to the museum now that we're open. We have our shop. Not only has some items for sale online, we do live shopping every month, where our team sells things via Zoom and takes your questions and shows the items off for sale. So you can do that. And also just the idea of a membership. Memberships are all over with in terms of how much they cost, but the lowest one right now is $20.
Yeah.
And so that's a way to support us. And, we're always interested in talking to people. And if you have a question, you can email us or call us at the museum, and we can help you reach your goals and supporting what the work we do at the Appleton. And we can show you from your return on investment, whether it's just liking us on Facebook or even helping us provide art kits to children throughout the county is meaningful. And the return on investment with the Appleton is always pay great dividends. So I just remind people that we're doing good, and we're happy to help in any way. And if you can help us along, if you like what we're doing, you can help us too. Absolutely.
You take donations through the website. Volunteers can go through the website. Docents, that's something that I have a question about. What is a docent?
Okay. A docent is a volunteer who helps us meet the demand for tours or going out in the community and talking about the museum. And so they're part of the Appleton staff as a volunteer. They lead tours of the permanent collection. They do special exhibit tours. And they basically, you're coming on, you're getting a 5-month training program where you get to learn from the curators, you get to learn from each of the departments how a museum works. Here's the data that we have of us as artwork. Here's the story we're telling. And here's helping you develop your public speaking and tour guide skills so that you can help us expand our reach to the museum. And so docents are an extension of our staff. They're very active in our staff. They are part of our staff. And, part of your docent life is you get to be part of the museum, get behind-the-scenes training, and you get to see the artwork up close and personal. And it's always great because they get the free sneak peek before it opens up to the public.
I love it. I love it.
So it's, again, like lifelong learners. So we have docents of any ages. So it's just about how much time you're able to commit the time to the training and able to produce or lead tours on weekends or during the week whenever you have free time. That's what a docent does. It's a very important public interface, giving tours right to the public and immediate engagement to see how people are reacting to the show.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Right.
Let's go ahead and give that address, phone number, and website again, as well as the hour, so that everybody knows when they can check out the Appleton.
All right. So we are open from Thursday through Sunday. We're open Thursday through Saturday from 10 to 5 and Sunday noon to 5. And our address is our physical address where you can come put it in your GPS is 4333 East Silver Springs Boulevard in Ocala, and the zip code is 34470. Mm-hmm. And our web address where you can find all of the things we talked about today is www.appletonmuseum in one word .org. Mm-hmm. Our phone number that you can reach at the front desk and leave messages for any of the staff is 352-291-4455. And you can always shoot us an email at appletonmuseum@cf.edu.
That's awesome.
And again, through the website, you can get to our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram again.
You've got such great stuff. Thank you so much for your time, Jason. Like I said, I absolutely love the Appleton Museum. And even if you're not, really big into art, there's going to be something that you see there that's going to is going to touch you. You're going to find something that clicks with you. And I just really think that a lot of people would love the Appleton who haven't been before.
And I think, Kathy, with your idea about the music, I think, do you have a soundtrack in your head for any of the pieces?
I do. When I go through, I usually have a soundtrack. Like with Daphnis and Chloe, I have like this, I don't know, it's like Verdi's Spring, da 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 da. It's like that type of thing. Yeah.
That's very good. And I think, because that's something we're trying to introduce, how to remind people it's okay to see artwork and have music. And so we're trying to put things online, even like, here's an artwork, this is what we thought about. Maybe I'll follow up with you and try to get a challenge for put a music to the artwork. It's just a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I was teasing my wife. I was like, I better be ready. So I'm thinking and overthinking, but then I landed on Beers and Sunshine Is All I Need or something by Derek
Yes, isn't that a great song?
I just love that because it's the BS line. It's like that's
yes.
BS. Oh my God, I just fell in love with that. So that's something that it might be funny, but it's a way to think about how in Florida we have a lot of fun. We got flip flops. We can come and see great artwork. We go to Silver Springs to see that, but also see how we're a gem, and I think we're all gems when we come together that way. So I appreciate the time today, Kathy.
Thank you so much. Jason Steuber, Director of the Appleton Museum of Art. Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
My guest today has been Jason Steuber, director of the Appleton Museum of Art. Homepage is presented as a public affairs feature of 93.7 K Country and Wind FM 92.5 and 95.5. Your comments are always welcome, and you can email me at homepage@ncfmgroup.com. You can also listen to Homepage by going to our websites at 937kcountry.com and windfm.com. I'm Kathy Dugan. Please join us again next Sunday.